Okay, so this video is on the LED light set, item E021 from Motion. I actually bought two of these, one for F22 and then for this MiG-29 here. So you can see that it's down in here, and originally to get power to it I was going to use, there's a Spectrum AR10360T in here, and was going to use the bind port to supply power to the controller there. When I plugged that in and then turned everything on, I lost my bind to the receiver. Right, so that should have been a red flag to me right there. But what I did is to pull that out, and I rebound the plane, and then I also decided, instead of using the bind port, I'll just wire this controller into the landing gear, since those typically aren't used during flight and they're on or off, right? So hopefully they have minimal impact. But anyway, so I did that, powered on the plane, and I smelled a faint smell of plastic burning, right, which was not good. And then nothing happened on the plane; it was dead. Okay, so I started investigating, and when I checked the retracts, they were dead. Okay, so I checked. I connected the servo checker to the lead here going into the receiver, and that didn't work. So I actually went and pulled the two mains out and test them directly, and they're just completely dead. So the three retracts were fried, and so I started looking at how could this happen. Okay, and so I looked at the controller here, and what I've got here is I've got the controller lead connected up with the positive and the ground, and if we connect up, this is connected to a voltometer where I'm doing a continuity check, right, between the positive and the ground, and you can hear that there is some short between the positive and the ground here on this controller. Okay, so that's obviously not very good. I went and checked on the F22 because it also has the same controller, and did this exact same test with the paper clips there, and there was no short between the positive and the ground. Okay, so there's definitely that's definitely an issue, and that's what I suspect is what fried those retracts. Fortunately, the receiver didn't seem to get impacted, which was very good, fortunately. Okay, what is interesting, let me pull these leads out here, these paper clips. What is interesting is that the controller works. Okay, so I'll plug him up to a servo checker here. Bear with me a second. And you can see that the lights are all working. Okay, they're working just fine. So I'm not sure what's going on with that controller, but definitely there should not be a short between the positive and the ground. Okay, so in just a second I'll show you. So I sent a ticket to Motion with the issue here, and I'll show you what the response was. So I was considering what to do for this, and on the retracts, I tried to purchase them initially from Motion, but they were out of stock at the time, so I got those from another source. So I just bite the bullet, and I'll just buy another set of retracts, okay? But the LED controller I did get from Motion, and so I sent an issue or a ticket asking them if they would send me a replacement part. And here you can see in the email, this is the response, right? So it had been several months since I had purchased this, because I was collecting parts to build these two models, and it takes, obviously time goes by, right? But the issue is that, the quality I mean, this should have been a simple test for quality, and for anybody plugging this in to their aircraft, they could have just a disastrous impact on the electronics in that aircraft, right? And so that's one of the things, you shouldn't have to expect that you need to do QA on these parts for motion before you plug them into the aircraft. And that's my concern. I mean, this could, I'm building this model, but this could have been another model that I bought from Motion. I crashed it and I had to replace the controller because it got damaged. And when I plug it in, now my retracts are fried, or my receiver's fried, or whatever, right? And it's really sad that that's kind of what you're left with as the customer there, right? I looked, it's only like $9 for the controller, and I don't know, what is it, $8 for shipping now, so $17 for a replace the part. But it's just a situation, I guess, that's really, kind of, bothers me, right? That I can't trust parts from Motion, and worse, if it's more than 30 days, then they're not going to do anything about it. And I'm wondering if it had been within those 30 days, if I had fried my receiver, what would they have done? They had probably offered just to replace the controller, but since I hadn't got the receiver from them, they wouldn't cover it. And now, in that particular receiver, I think it's around 170. I don't know if it's went up lately, but pretty significant cost just due to poor quality in electrical component. So, anyways, the moral of the story is, you might want to do your own QA on electrical parts that you receive from Motion.